What if I told you that the robot vacuum industry, a $7 billion market, has been designed from the ground up to separate you from your money, not once at the register, but month after month after month, through subscriptions you didn't ask for, proprietary parts you can't replace, and flagship price tags stapled to machines that can't even find their way back to the dock? And what if the people who actually test these things, the ones pulling hair out of roller brushes and running controlled carpet challenges and tearing down docks in their workshops, have been quietly pointing to the same handful of brands bleeding consumers dry, while two companies, just two, are delivering more machine for less money than this industry has ever seen? That's exactly what we're covering today. Here are 5 robot vacuum brands that are robbing you blind and 2 that are worth every penny, ranked from overpriced to absolutely criminal. Number 5. Dyson Spot Plus Scrub AI. The $1,200 machine that couldn't find its own dock. Dyson launched the Spot Plus Scrub AI in the United States on March 12, 2026, at a retail price of $1,199. That makes it one of the most expensive consumer robot vacuums ever released. And for that money, you'd expect flawless performance. You'd be wrong. Reviewers documented the robot spreading debris around instead of picking it up after its internal bin overflowed and failed to empty into the dock, despite being programmed to do so every 15 minutes. The machine had sizable amounts of hair wrapped around its central roller brush in a 2-person household with no pets, while competitors at half the price have had anti-tangle designs for years. Independent testing backs this up. The robot frequently struggled to drive back into its own dock on a perfectly flat floor, attempting, failing, turning around, trying again. And Dyson didn't include its own recommended cleaning solution in the box. So that's extra spend before you even run your first clean. Think about that. $1,200 and you're fishing for a bottle of detergent before the machine does anything. Here's how to actually use this information. If you're drawn to Dyson's brand and engineering, wait. In early 2026, prices dropped as much as 75% off on earlier models. At a steep discount, the vacuum-only performance is legitimately strong. At full retail, you're paying a premium for a brand name attached to a navigation system that gets lost in your living room. The reason this gets overlooked is simple. Dyson's reputation in corded vacuums is earned. But that reputation has been propping up a robot vacuum division that hasn't earned the same trust. And you're probably comparing it to your Dyson Stick Vac right now, assuming the quality transfers. It doesn't. Number 4. The proprietary accessory trap. The hidden toll booth built into every replacement part. This one isn't a single brand. It's a business model, and it has been draining robot vacuum owners for years. Here's how it works. You buy a robot vacuum, you love it, and then 18 months later, you need a new filter, a new brush roll, a new mop pad. You go online and discover that the manufacturer uses a unique attachment mechanism that prevents you from buying generic replacements. You're locked in. The only source is the brand itself, and they set the price. The testing community has tracked this pattern across multiple manufacturers, and the numbers don't lie. Buy a robot vacuum today, and in 3 to 4 years when you need replacement parts, the manufacturer may have already discontinued your model. Accessories get harder to find, prices climb, and eventually you're replacing a $600 machine because you can't get a $15 brush. Add in the models with hot water mop washing that pull $20 to $40 more in electricity annually, and your total cost of ownership balloons far past that sticker price. Here's how to actually use this information. Before you buy any robot vacuum, price out the replacement filters, brushes, side brushes, and mop pads. Check if third-party parts are available. If the only option is the manufacturer's store, you're signing up for a years-long revenue stream flowing straight out of your wallet. Most buyers never do this math. They compare sticker prices, pick the feature list that sounds best, and wonder 2 years later why this thing costs so much to keep running. That's exactly how these brands want it. And chances are, there's a robot vacuum sitting in your house right now with parts you'll need to replace sooner than you think. Number 3. The overpriced flagship vacuum mop combo. the four-figure machine outperformed by robots at half the price. If you're starting to see the pattern, if you're realizing that the most expensive robot vacuum on the shelf is almost never the best robot vacuum on the shelf, do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps this reach people who are tired of paying flagship prices for mid-range results. And if you haven't subscribed yet, this is the channel where we follow the testing, not the marketing. Here's the reality the premium robot vacuum industry does not want you to understand. The gap between mid-range and flagship robot vacuums is collapsing. Features that defined a $1,500 machine just 2 years ago, roller mops, AI camera obstacle avoidance, retractable LiDAR towers, hot water mop washing, now show up in robots priced between $700 and $900. Independent reviewers have confirmed it plainly. A robot vacuum under $500, often discounted to about half that, delivers performance you'd expect from a flagship unit costing more than 3 times as much. The testing backs this up repeatedly. Think about that. You could buy the same cleaning power 3 times over for what one flagship costs. And budget robots have now crossed a threshold where their feature sets genuinely rival what premium models offered 2 years ago, making machines under $400 worth serious consideration for most households. Number 2. And the legacy Roomba pricing model. The brand that went bankrupt, charging you $1,300 and $30 a month. iRobot, the company that made Roomba a household name, officially filed for bankruptcy on December 14, 2025. Let that land. The company that invented the category couldn't survive in the market it created, and the reason is written right into their pricing page. You could buy a Roomba for as much as $1,300, and on top of that, iRobot ran the most aggressive subscription model in the robot vacuum space, charging up to $30 a month through its Select program just to access features that every major competitor includes for free. Independent member surveys gave iRobot vacuums middling ratings for reliability and owner satisfaction. The testing confirms it. In the company's third quarter of 2025, U.S. revenue dropped 33%. Higher-priced robots weren't selling. The Amazon acquisition that was supposed to save the company, a deal worth roughly $1.7 billion, collapsed in January 2024 after EU antitrust pressure. iRobot laid off around 350 employees. The CEO stepped down, and then came the privacy controversy. Images captured by test Roomba J7 Plus models were leaked online in late 2022, including photos of people inside their homes. If you own a Roomba, check whether your model requires an active subscription to use its full feature set. If it does, you're paying a monthly tax that Roborock, Dreame, and Shark all charge exactly $0 for. The brand survived for years on name recognition alone. And most people bought Roombas because they didn't know there were alternatives. There are. And one of them is probably already outperforming your Roomba in every independent test, while sitting at a price point that should make you wonder why you waited. Number 1. Samsung, the $600 machine that picks up less than 10% of pet hair. Here's what nobody tells you about Samsung robot vacuums. The brand name on the front of that machine is doing all the heavy lifting, because the machine itself can barely lift pet hair off a carpet. In controlled testing, the Samsung JetBot AI Plus picked up less than 10% of the pet hair used in standardized challenges. Less than 10%. For a robot vacuum that costs north of $600, marketed directly to families with pets. Every independent test lab that has run this machine confirms it. But the pet hair failure is just the beginning. Reviewers documented having to request a second unit because the first one randomly dropped its mop pads, couldn't detect them in the cleaning station, had navigation failures, and refused to allow access to live monitoring. The Samsung community forums are filled with owners reporting that the cliff sensors mistake dark spots on rugs for actual cliffs, and there's no way to override them. One owner paid $1,000 for the vacuum and then got a service quote of $616 for repair. A repair bill that's more than half the cost of the machine. If you're a Samsung smart home user and SmartThings compatibility is pulling you toward their robot vacuum, understand that the software issues have been documented by professional reviewers and verified by consumer reports across multiple units. This isn't a one-off lemon. It's a pattern. The brand gets overlooked as a problem because Samsung makes excellent phones, excellent TVs, and excellent refrigerators. But the robot vacuum division is riding on the reputation those other divisions built. And your floors are probably covered in pet hair right now that a Samsung robot would leave behind. Now, the two brands that are actually worth your money. Roborock. 23% global market share in 2025, and not a single dollar in subscription fees. Every feature, AI object avoidance, video monitoring, 3D mapping, app control, included with your purchase. The Roborock Crevo Curviex scored 92% on carpet deep clean testing with 0% hair tangles, ranking 3rd overall in independent databases, regardless of price. Their mid-range Q Revo series runs between $500 and $800 and delivers flagship-level cleaning. The build quality reflects real engineering investment, denser plastics, tighter fit and finish, and a dual brush system designed to resist tangling and wear over years of use. Roborock argues that navigation accuracy, brush engineering, and longer software support lower the real cost of ownership over 4 to 6 years, and the testing backs that up. Dreame. The brand that took the #1 overall robot vacuum spot in independent rankings for July 2026, with the L60 Ultra PE, replacing their own X60 Max Ultra Complete, which held the top position before it. Dreame shipped nearly 377,000 units in Europe during Q2 of 2025, grabbing over 25% market share in that region alone. The Dreame L50 Ultra scored highest in carpet deep cleaning and sells for $800, $550 less than the model it outperformed in that specific test. Replacement parts run cheaper over the life of the machine. 0 subscription fees. At almost every price point, Dreame undercuts the competition while matching or beating their performance. Every pro watching the space knows it. If you made it all the way to the end, you've just learned something most people never will. The robot vacuum industry has been charging you for brand names, subscriptions, and proprietary parts, while 2 companies have been quietly winning every independent test at half the price. Smash that like button if this changed how you think about robot vacuums. Drop a comment and tell me which one surprised you most. Team Samsung and that 10% pet hair disaster? Team iRobot and the $30 monthly subscription on a machine from a bankrupt company? I read every comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. Remember, the best robot vacuum isn't the one with the biggest brand name on the box. It's the one the testing community has been crowning for months, waiting for you to stop overpaying and finally bring it home.